Welcome in then to Friday's edition of Extra Time. Thank you very much for your tweet. Stevie, who's your all-time best thrower of the ball?
I'm going to say Brian Moore.
Brian Moore?
Yeah.
Why does Gab Marcotti have so much swag?
Oh, well.
No. Does that go over your head?
Brian Moore's a rugby player. Is that what you're talking about, the rugby player?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why are you pulling a weird face now?
Not as weird as yours.
That is the worst comeback you've had, Steve.
My dad's bigger than your
That
dad.
is the worst comeback you've had.
No, it's not.
What do you want me to say?
What?
Rory
What-
Delap.
You
Why
can
you
say
go
Brian,
back
say Brian Moore, that's fine. I was just moving on.
I didn't think.
And then you were like, oh, you don't know who he is. Well, I do know who he is.
Yeah, he's a big rugby
Yeah.
aficionado, you know that.
There you are. Former England prop.
No.
No, hooker. Hooker. Why does Gab Marcotti have so much swag?
I don't, what do you mean, like free stuff that people give me? So partly I work for a company that's very generous, and so I have all sorts of water bottles and pens and t-shirts.
How did you describe
and
swag,
things like
Stevie?
that, hoodies.
Joie de vivre.
Chard de vie. Oh, this is the worst start to an extra time we've ever had.
Yeah, it was.
What's that? It's just popped up.
That's the question I'm about to ask. Why Barcelona didn't approach Nicklas Bendtner? Is that what you mean?
To do what?
To play for him?
Well, United could as well, couldn't they?
Yes? I mean, a contest on both.
Just,
You're all right, what's happened to you?
wow, it's not even a sentence, is it? I mean, if it can't be grammatically correct, just get it out.
Why, you don't know where Nor's from? English might be his second language.
Well, tweet it in your own language and I'll do it. I'll translate
You're translating.
I'll do it.
Oh dear, that's another grammatic issues. Here we go. What the reason for Chelsea to appeal for transfer ban because they're not signing anyone currently? Why do they appeal, Gab?
I'm not answering questions with grammatical errors.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
What the reason?
Yeah, what the reason?
Reason be that when they appealed the ban, they didn't have a crystal ball where they could go and predict the future and to see what signings they could have gotten in January, which ones they couldn't have. Frank Lampard made it very clear on Friday night that he was disappointed because he wanted to bring in another striker to back up Tammy Abraham, and they were unable to do that. And that's part of the reason why Olivier Giroud had to stay. And that, of course, caused a chain reaction, making the likes of Spurs, Inter, and Lazio all unhappy. But, you know, they appealed the transfer ban because they wanted to sign players in January, and they weren't able to do it because sometimes you'd rather, you're not going to bring somebody in just for the sake of bringing somebody in, and they weren't able to get the guy they wanted.
Gab, I appreciate the lack of clarity, but shouldn't you plan for both things? You plan that you do, or you are able to go and sign players, or you try and plan something for not being able to do that? Is that not part of the deal? So could you please clarify
They did
that?
plan something.
I would appreciate the clarity. Thank you.
Okay, but
If this goes out,
here's the
it'll be a
thing.
miracle.
Unless you want to be Manchester United, where you're like, oh my God, we need to get somebody in. You guys called it desperate, and so you start, shopping in the Josh King, Odion Igalo aisle. Chelsea, who try to operate sometimes like a grown-up club, they had a target, and they said, all right, we like him. We like him if we can get him for this much. If we can't get him for this much, we don't like him, and we'll keep Giroud for another 6 months. It's as simple as that. I mean, this is how you avoid overpaying and getting yourself into trouble.
That's a good plan. Keep somebody that's
Craig,
got a chance of
It's
playing.
not good for Giroud though. Well, in terms of his
No, look,
Euros.
they made a last-ditch. Look, they had a target in mind, and I don't know who it is, but there's obviously been a whole bunch of rumors. Once things got tough for them, they said, all right, let's think short-term. They tried to go for Dries Mertens, who is, he's 6 months away from free agency. So basically, it would have effectively been like a free transfer. He's experienced. He can play up front. He can play on the wing. Blah blah blah. Let's go for him. He's a compliment for a big tall striker like Tammy Abraham. In the end, though, Napoli killed the deal. Some people say De Laurentiis was being vindictive. Others say Maybe it was Mertens who wasn't fully convinced, who wanted to keep his option to move as a free agent. And that was their plan. And in the end, it went out of their hands. I mean, deals are set up and fall apart all the time. But it's not that Chelsea sat there and says, hey, look, let's go and spend all this money on legal fees so that we just get the right to buy somebody, but then let's make sure we don't buy anybody. Yeah, boy, that'll show them. That's a sound strategy. Come on.
After that explanation, the summer transfer window's just opened, so that's good.
Sorry.
Matt, you got signed players again. Craig, who's the noisiest person you've ever played with?
Is that grammatically correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Who's what?
Noisiest.
Who's the noisiest?
The loudest.
Yeah.
The loudest in the dressing
Loud
room.
and noisy are two different things, Craig, as you know.
No, I don't know.
No.
John Spencer.
John Spencer? Stevie?
Noisiest. I can't think of anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's
All right. Got 4 people tweeting in their questions.
it's grammatically correct.
For Shaka, why does Unai keep hating on Mesut after he's left the club?
I don't know.
Unai Emery, of course, talking about the fact that, you didn't know what's up Thursday.
Yeah, so I have no idea. I don't know why Unai Emery is doing these kinds of interviews and talking about his time at Arsenal, maybe trying to save some face, but that's about as much as it can offer.
Does Gab have any restaurant recommendations in Florence, preferably no menus with pictures?
You have a reputation now, Gab.
So I haven't been to Florence in a while. Very easy to find, and I've got Florentine friends who take me to places and then make sure that they get me lost along the way so that I can presumably never find them unless I go full Hansel and Gretel and then stop little bits of and chuck little bits of paper along the way. But a very easy place to find is a restaurant called Pitti, which is just across the river from the center. If you're a tourist there, you'll have no issue finding it. It's pretty mainstream, but it's very good. Beyond that, as long as you stay away from the center of town and restaurants with menus in several languages and pictures on them, restaurants serving lasagna, restaurants serving overcooked meats, you'll be fine. It's kind of hard to eat badly in Florence.
There was a beef lasagna on the menu at the cafe today. Well, it's not a menu.
Was there?
It was
What
in
was
the-
there? Did
I
you
didn't
have
see
it?
that.
Sorry?
Did you have it?
I did.
How was it?
Won't be having it again.
Oh, good.
So, should
Final,
have known because there was quite a lot of them left.
yeah, final question.
Thank
Who's
you.
Gab rooting for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, all right. So I've spent a lot of time on this because we kind of have a guy on both sides, because obviously we have Jordan Matthews on one side and Andy Reid, of course, is the coach of the Chiefs now. And it's been a debate all week in Philly. Some people are saying, like, no, forget Reid. His clock management was terrible. We would have definitely won 2 or 3 Super Bowls if he'd just been normals. And others say, like, look, he was arguably one of the greatest coaches that we ever had, and he laid the foundations for, of course, the Super Bowl winning team of 2 years ago. So this is what I want to happen. I want Andy to build up a huge lead and then just get the clock management all wrong, screw everything up so that it comes down to the last play. And then on the last play, Pat Mahomes does something spectacular and the Chiefs win it. And so Andy can smile. So in the end, I want him to win, but I want him to suffer, and I want the world to know about his clock management, especially Chiefs fans.
Chat, you're going to a Super Bowl party, yes?
Yeah.
You're excited by that. Who do you want to win?
I'm going with Gab. I'm with Kansas City one, yeah.
Yeah, Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right then, ESPN FC will be back tomorrow. Me, Craig and Shaka will be here to look back at those.
Transfer window.
No, that's it. Big games.
Transfer window.
Big games in Germany and the Madrid derby, of course. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.